Hello there. I hope you're well. This is Nicole M. Louie, the Social Worker Strategy Mentor. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how you can actually create, or how you should create, your website. This is especially important for those of you that are just setting up, or if you are semi-independent, get your notepad and pen, because I'm going to be going through some things that you might want to review in auditing and looking at your website. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So if this is of interest, stick around, make sure that you tag your friend, say hello, share this live stream. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you're doing on your website currently, or what ideas you have for your website. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you about this. So when I am working with my mentees on this, they oftentimes don't have a clue where to start. And the reason why is because they oftentimes don't know what they're actually doing. They don't know what their specialism is, what their niche is. And so there are kind of breadcrumb trails that leads to you being able to create a magnificent website. And first and foremost is you do need to understand what you are working with. You need to know who your clientele is. You need to have done your branding. And these are things that I cover in my program. You want to have done that so that you will know what content you're putting. All of that groundwork is what then gets amalgamated and pulled together and plonked onto your website in one neat package, so you don't have it all over the place. So that's really the purpose of your website. And there are some key features of your website that need to be included, so that you're not just, it's not just something that's there that has your business name and says who you are, but then nobody's clicking on anything and depositing money into your account. All right. So that's the first and foremost thing that I want you to understand about your website. It needs to be more than just a pretty website. It needs to be something that people are actually getting information from and value from, so that they can actually make a decision about whether you are the best person to invest in to help them on the next chapter of their journey, or to help them make the transformation that they want to make, or to get them to where they want to get to and reach their goal, or all of the above, right? Because I feel as though when people come to you for anything in business, they are wanting all of the above. They're wanting something done, right? There needs to be an outcome. So that's what I would say as far as the purpose of your website and why you need to have it. Now, I've made some notes about some things and elements that you want to have. So first and foremost, yes, your business has to have a particular structure. I really, really encourage and support people being able to utilizing different pages, utilizing different colors. But again, those things are going to come part and parcel as your brand. And there's a strategy and a way in which you actually creating your brand. Now, there's information out there that you can go and look for. So people like, what's his name? StoryBrand is the name of the book. That's a really useful website building thing that you want to look at. That's really useful and helpful to help you understand how to complete your website. But when we think about it in terms of our industry, there's some other elements that you want to be putting in. So I'm going to share that with you. So first and foremost, we need to have personality. I go on so many websites where they're just like, they're very corporate, they're very boring. They need to have life infused into them. They need to have personality, your personality particularly infused in them, so that it will resonate with those who you are trying to reach. Using your colors, again, ensuring that your colors fit with your brand. So they're not just random colors and colors that you happen to like. They need to mean something to the people that are actually buying into your service, and that will resonate with the result that you give them. Okay. And then that includes the typology. So the type of fonts, remembering that they want to be legible, but they want to make it sophisticated, attractive, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but things that people are actually able to engage in and read in. So sometimes when I'm going through this and we are creating this with my mentees, we're creating this together, sometimes I have to utilize the process to get them to understand that, so that the fonts that they are choosing to go together actually work. And by the end of the session, they've kind of got an idea that actually these two fonts don't work so well together, but these two do, and these are reasons why. And so your typology is really important, and your font. And your website wants to be useful. So it needs to have information on there that's useful and that people can read and look at and say, I didn't know that. That's really helpful and engaging. So that's how you put it together. That's really about design. And trust me, it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I'm okay. I call myself okay at designing, and good. I'm bordering good at this point on design, right? it's come a long way from when I first began in social work independently and putting my website together and stuff like that, and the ideas that I had for my website. It's come a long way, and to the point where I'm actually designing my mentees' website. So you'll see from some of the case studies that I've done, the websites that my mentees have shared, those are the websites that I have designed for them. And so you want it to be engaging. And as far as possible, you want to have your own photographs on there, your own stock images, rather than images that you've pulled from somewhere else. Why? Because you are the brand, it resonates with you and what you're about. People buy people, right? And so people need to fall in love with you. They need to resonate with what your values are and your ethics and how you work and your style even, right, as part of your brand. And so having your own photographs and images of yourself is really important, because then people are getting to know you more and getting to trust you and like you even more. So that would help them make a decision. Now, the fact is, when people come onto your website, and this is the thing that I'm getting into a little bit of sales here now, but when people are connecting with you and resonating with you, your website is one of the key things that will draw your people to you, because not everybody's for you, right? And one thing that your website must do is help people make a decision. It is not about them having to buy with you, because maybe you're not a fit for them and they definitely may not be a fit for you. But you absolutely want to be able to draw the right people, your people, to you. And you will do this by doing all these different things. And so don't be afraid if people come to you and they come to your website and they're like, nah, this person really isn't for me. That is okay. Listen, there's a population of 8 billion people in the world. There are going to be people that are your people, okay? So the people that are not for you need to find the people that are for them, so that they can make merry and get the transformation that they need, right? So never be afraid for that. And then your website needs to also showcase how you help. It needs to have a structure to it. So if you go onto my website, you see the structure of mine, you see the pages that I've got. You will need to have a structure that makes sense, that people can find the information that they need clearly. I've been on to a social worker who's independent, their website, and I couldn't find the information that I was looking for. Things weren't aesthetically, it looked pretty, but some of the typology, there wasn't enough variance in the design for me to make heads or tails of what I was looking at. And I also couldn't find the specific information that I was looking for, because it was a bit like a rabbit warren and there was just too much going on. It wasn't clear and just like simple, right? So it needs to be simple, beautiful, and clear and useful, right? So the information needs to be very clear on there, and it needs to showcase how you help in a very simple way. People don't want the complication. Now, in fairness, a lot of what you're probably going to be doing and helping people transform and reaching their goals is going to be, there's going to have levels of complexities, right? And it's going to have layers, because that's life. People, we never jump from A to B and hey presto, the transformation is there and where we want to be. There are always steps to get there, but you need to present it in a way where the steps are so simple and very easy to digest. And as they go through the process, it gets more intricate. And that's how people digest content. When people are overwhelmed, they do nothing, right? They do nothing. And so that's really important, that your website shows them how you help, and also a bit about why. Now, the last bit, in terms of pages, before I get onto the last bit, if this is something that you want assistance with because you are a social worker who's semi-independent and you kind of set up your website, but it might look a bit clunky, that it might need updating, it might need things doing, I actually do, as part of my launches, create. I actually do something where I do a website audit for you and can go through what things you need to be reviewing and how you need to be setting it up differently. So you can go onto the website and you'll find the launches create. If you go on the first page and you go further down the bottom, you'll see that, and you can book a time with me and we can do that. If you want more assistance, where you actually want a whole audit of your business and we look at it from start to finish, because what's on your website needs to make sense also. So I can think of one mentee that I had when she did a consultation with me, and her website definitely needed work doing. There were things on there that she was advertising that she was not set up at all to actually she was not prepared to actually deliver. If somebody called her today or tomorrow to ask her for that service, she would have been winging it. And that's something that you should never do, like, especially in this industry. That's just dangerous to do. You shouldn't do that. You should really have a process set up, and a program created so that people can come into it. And even if it means that program is somewhat flexible, then you need to understand where the flexibility is, so you're actually delivering and people are really getting what they're paying for. So yeah, we went onto the website and that needed doing. But I remembered that her services also needed structuring. And that was then when we looked at that, we were actually able to determine that, okay, so what's on your website, these things actually need to go from your website, and these are the different things you need to do with the website. So unless you kind of know what you're doing, it's hard to just make changes to a website. But if you are in that place where, as a semi-independent, you kind of know what you're doing, you're sure that this is how you want to do it, and you haven't missed any gaps in your business setup, then cool, go ahead. You can do a Launchers Create with me and I can support you with that. If you want deeper information in terms of what am I even doing business, I want to kind of pivot, but I'm not sure how, whatever that may be, you may be more suitable for a program. So DM me the word launcher and I can point you in the right direction, talk about what you need to be looking at and focused on. And we can have a conversation. Okay, so now let me talk about in terms of pages. Now, the amount of pages that you have will depend on how deep you want to go with your clients. Because again, you want to be able to create your website in a way where the information is clear, it's easy to digest, and people understand where to go and they're not getting confused. I go onto a website and if there are too many clicks and I don't understand, it's not actually taking me down the rabbit hole I want to go down, I'm just going to switch off because it just doesn't make sense to me. So it needs to be methodically created in terms of where your pages are connected, and the amount of pages, as I said, will depend on how deep you want to go and how much layers you have to your business as far as being able to give people the transformation. I said earlier on that transformations take time and there are layers to it. So when you are a specialist, you will generally dive deep, and that will be somewhat reflected in your website. So some people, depending on what you're providing, and when you're setting up, so for my mentees, when we're first setting up their website, they've actually got several pages, but some of them are not yet live because they're not yet offering it, because they are creating their programs and things like that, and their products and services and their other income streams. And so they will be having particular pages that will be live that they can, their clients or potential clients can start diving into. So they might have 1 to 3 pages initially. That will be like their home page, their about page, and the services, 1 or 2 of the services, and a contact page. So they'll have a cocktail of those. So 1 to 3 or 4 pages they will start off with initially. And as they start adding the layers to the transformation, they will actually then add the other pages, but those pages will make sense. It won't be a thing where people have got to do a whole heap of clicking to get where they need to get or understand what they need to do, but it will take them layers deeper, so that the further they want to go and the further they want to make the transformation and do the work, they will be taken down that road to understand what is included, what services they can actually access to do that. Okay, so that will be my advice to you about how you want to structure your website, but why this is important, and also in terms of your messaging and your copy and what goes on your website need to make sense. But again, that comes with understanding your brand, understanding your clients, understanding what they need and how you need to be speaking to them so that they can actually make a decision. And whether that decision is, yes, I'm absolutely going to buy with this person, they are the person that's going to help me, or whether or not it is with somebody else, that's okay, as long as they get what they need and you've helped them to make a decision one way or another. And sometimes that decision may be a no for now, it might be a hell no never, but be mindful that don't take it personally. That's the thing that I want to tell you. It needs to be mutual. When people are working with you, it must be mutual. They must feel connected with you and as though you are the person that can help them. And if they don't feel that, they are potentially not the right person for you, right? So don't take it personally. It's just important that they get the help that they need from the right place. And so your website has to be designed in a way that allows them to make the right decision for them and gives them the opportunity to click a button that can allow them to deposit money in your account where they are going to get the service and buy in the service that works for them. So again, if this is something that you need assistance with to understand how to put your business together that will allow people to make a decision and see that actually you are the person that can help them and will be able to give them that transformation, then DM me the word launcher and we can jump on a call together and think about how you can do that and what you actually need to be doing, what your focus needs to be. So thank you so much for listening. And let me know in the comments if you're semi-independent or if you're just starting out. Let me know in the comments. And if you've got a question, by all means, let me know in the comments also. Or you could DM me. Most people DM me because I think they're a bit shy of commenting. And the other thing is, if, as I said, you are someone that wants the assistance, just reach out to me. And if you want me to cover any other topics that I haven't yet covered, please do let me know. I stream on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on the YouTube channel as well. So there are lots of other videos on the YouTube channel. So head over there, subscribe, like, share, and dive into the other content. And I look forward to speaking with you very soon. Okay, take care. Bye for now.